Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this one I got for you, this story today, has everything to do with our children in our public school system in America. And as you all should know, that the majority of children in the United States of America are being educated in our public school systems. But I'm starting to see a certain panacea of failure and neglect that is starting at the very top of our superintendents of these school districts that are failing our children. And it seems as if some of these superintendents are more focused on their financial gains, whether it is kickbacks, nepotism, overspending, getting involved with fake vendors and receiving kickbacks from their friends. And some of these superintendents have been getting in hot water. It is unfortunate because in many of our urban inner city public schools, we're seeing that many of our children are reading 3 and 4 grade levels behind where they should be. So it makes you wonder, are our administrators in our public schools, are they more focused on their financial reward versus these kids' intellectual gains for the future? And many of these superintendents, if you don't know the salaries, they're making $250,000 to $350,000 a year. And for some, whether it's through greed, hubris, arrogance, or narcissism, their salaries is not enough. So some of these superintendents are more focused on padding their pockets than the overall welfare of educating our children. And this story I have for you is close to my heart because this comes straight out of the suburbs of Chicago, where this one particular superintendent has gotten caught is in hot water for some things that took place a year or two ago. And let's get into what I'm talking about. So, former Evanston Skokie School District 65 Superintendent Devon Horton has been federally charged or indicted on 17 counts of embezzlement and fraud. And guess where they found him? He currently or recently has been the superintendent of Georgia's DeKalb County School District in Georgia. And so he's been arrested, and let's get into what took place. The superintendent of Georgia's third largest school district has been indicted on federal charges alleging he ran a kickback scheme and stole money from his previous employer, a smaller school district in a suburban area of Chicago. A federal grand jury in Chicago indicted Dr. Devon Horton, currently the superintendent of the 93,000 student DeKalb County School District, on 17 counts including wire fraud, embezzlement, and tax evasion. The indictment alleges the 48-year-old Dr. Horton issued more than $280,000 in contracts to 3 friends and received more than $80,000 in kickbacks from 2020 through 2023, while he was superintendent of the Evanston Skokie School District. That district has 5,800 students in grades K through 8 last year. Indicted along with Dr. Horton were 3 other men who prosecutors allege were part of the scheme. Antonio Ross, 48, of Chicago, Samuel Ross, 46, of Berwyn, Illinois, and Alfonso Lewis, 48, of Chicago. A lawyer for Dr. Horton, Terry Campbell, said in a statement that Dr. Horton is eager to address his case in court. He added that the allegations related to conduct that is several years old and have nothing to do whatsoever with his very successful work on behalf of the students, families, and teachers of DeKalb County, citing improved attendance rates, graduation rates, and academic achievement in the Georgia district. Lawyers for Samuel Ross and Antonio Ross declined comment. The DeKalb County School Board held an emergency meeting recently and suspended Dr. Horton with pay, naming Chief of Student Services Norman Sauce III as acting superintendent. Board Chairperson Desiree Pierce said in a statement that operations will continue as normal and that the district remains focused on providing a safe, supportive, and high-quality educational experience for every student. The DeKalb County Board had extended Dr. Horton's contract through 2028 in July and raised his salary, listen to this, to $360,000 a year. But this is what the indictment alleges: that the four men created companies and billed for services they did not provide in order to bilk money from the Evanston, Skokie, and Chicago school districts, in addition to $283,500 from Evanston, Skokie. The indictment alleges that Antonio Ross, then principal of Hyde Park Academy High School in Chicago, issued a fraudulent contract to Dr. Horton, who controlled a company that netted Horton $10,000. Dr. Horton tried to hire Antonio Ross after Dr. Horton became superintendent in DeKalb County. So he was going to bring Antonio Ross from Chicago, the suburbs of Chicago, down to Georgia. But Ross declined the job amid questions about the business relationship between the two men, conflicts of interest. The DeKalb County District hired at least 4 other people whom Dr. Horton previously worked with in either Illinois or Louisville, Kentucky. Dr. Horton also faces charges that he stole more than $30,000 from the Evanston Skokie School District in 2022 and 2023 by using his district purchasing credit card to buy personal meals and gift cards and to pay for personal vehicles and travel expenses. Dr. Horton is also charged with tax evasion over allegations that he did not report the kickbacks and personal purchases on his income tax returns. So, because of the large amounts of money allegedly stolen and that fact that Dr. Horton was a public official, he could face more than 10 years in prison under federal sentencing guidelines if convicted. Prosecutors are also seeking to have all 4 men forfeit the money in question. The leaders of the Evanston Skokie School Board, Sergio Hernandez and Nicole Pincard, said in a statement that the district has been aware of the ongoing investigation and has fully supported the process, keeping it secret at the request of federal authorities. They also said they were deeply troubled and angered by these allegations. Now remember, there's been a hot topic about the Des Moines, Iowa superintendent, Dr. Ian Roberts, who allegedly had an extensive criminal past. There were conflicts of interest with a consulting firm that he was using by the name of a woman named Nicole Price, based out of the consulting company based out of Kansas City. That's been all over the news, that he faked his resume, did not have a PhD from Morgan State, etc. Here locally in the St. Louis area, there have been several superintendents that have been asked to leave or have been fired, or have had multiple allegations against them, whether it was the Ferguson Florissant superintendent a year or 2 ago. There's been issues with the Francis Howell superintendent who took the job for Francis Howell School District in St. Charles back in March. And by July, he left and decided not to be the superintendent in Francis Howell School District and took a job in Oklahoma or Texas, but got his full salary. The Edwardsville superintendent is on leave of absence, administrative leave with pay under auspicious circumstances. The St. Louis public school system in the last 2.5 years has had 3 superintendents here recently under the same allegations: overspending, conflicts of interest with vendors. It seems like some of these superintendents who are supposed to be the pilot flying the plane to educate our kids for our future are more focused on padding their pockets than educating our kids today. We have to vet these superintendents very vigorously and make sure we have the right leaders in place. Our children are our future. And as I said, we in our public school system in America today, and especially in the urban market, we have kids that are reading 2 to 4 grades behind their grade level and where there should be. And our public school system is fragile and falling apart. And we need to do something about it. Vetting the right superintendents is one of the utmost importance, and the school boards need to be accountable and make sure we have the right people in place. I'm seeing way too many. There's a certain kind of panacea of ineptness, failure, decline that is taking place with many of these superintendents, and it seems like they're more focused on padding their pockets than protecting and educating our children for the future. We're hearing this story way too many times. The superintendent is a leader of our schools, and we need to make sure that they are going in the right positive direction. They are, as I said, they're flying the plane, they're driving the bus for our kids in the future. And if they're not doing the right thing, what does that say for our administrators, our teachers that are working under these superintendents? The focus needs to be on education and the overall positive general welfare of our children in order for our future to be bright and sustainable. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience.